Welcome to the Gospel According to podcast, the first and only podcast looking at the intersection of pop culture and the Christian faith. I'm Dan Ulrich, joined as always by my co-host, who is just like a roller coaster, the perfect combination of fear and excitement. That's Dave Hallahan.
Yes, that's all my relationships. You know, I want to make people have a healthy fear of me, but also feel excited that they're around me. You know,
I want them to be afraid of how much.
Yes, I want them to be afraid of how much they love me.
Mm-hmm. And if you are joining the podcast, you're watching on YouTube or you're watching some clips, you need to be this tall to listen to the podcast because this is the Gospel
according to Amusement
Parks.
Yes,
that's right. So welcome. Hope you got your ticket.
I'll put that on our YouTube. They always ask, like, is this video made for kids? And then if the answer is no, then they're like, is there an age restriction? So I'll put a height restriction.
There's a height.
42 inches tall to listen to this episode.
It's going to get kind of wild towards the end.
It's true. Watch out. Who knows what you're in store for?
So, Dave, you a big amusement park guy? We touched a little bit on the beach, a little bit of rides.
Boardwalk rides, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. I think in my older age, I just think I am because I remember when I was.
The nostalgia of it.
Yes. But the last time I was at Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey was several years ago now, but it also had been a gap in between the last two times. And I'm like, I love roller coasters. I go on all the roller coasters. And then I went on the roller coasters and I did do them and I did enjoy them, but I learned that I need a long gap in between. I'm like, all right, we did Nitro. Why don't you guys go do that ride? I'll just watch our bags, you know.
At that point, you're hoping for a longer ride line.
Yeah. You're like, which roller coaster has the longest line? Let's do that one next. Yeah. But I do like amusement parks. How about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the rides. It's having kids now. They're getting to the age where they can start to do the bigger roller coasters. And I think we're planning on going to a couple theme parks this year or amusement parks. And most of our kids are kind of the age where they can do almost everything, which is exciting. And so I'm down. The bigger, the taller, the faster. The one thing I can't do that I had a moment of realizing my age was like one of the spin and puke rides where it was like spinning
like
around in a circle, thing? but it's like it looks like a claw kind of.
Yes.
I don't know what park. So you're like individually spinning, but then the whole thing's spinning. Then it's like tilting it on
inverted
axis.
And yeah.
And it's like on it, there's like this big axis, and then I got off and I was like, whoa, I feel like I had vertigo.
I will say it's funny because I love roller coasters. I've been able to do roller coasters since my dad first dragged me onto one. We can tell that story in a minute. But I get motion sickness in cars and have since I was a kid. Like I can't sit in the back seat. I'll get sick.
The most extreme ride for Dave Hallahan, the back seat.
Yes, the drive to my Aunt Pat's. No. And so like now as an adult, like I just drive everywhere, even like in the passenger seat of a car, depending on how the person drives that I'm with, like I still can get motion sickness there. But so it's weird. But the spinny rides, like the crazy ones that you're talking about, like that, like I'm like, I'm not going to do it. Like, there's no point in it. Like I probably will get sick. I don't know. I can do like the tilt-a-whirl. I've done the Gravitron, stuff like that, where it's just spinning, but then the more elements to the spin that you're including,
it's like they're trying to add more. It's like, I'm going to slap you in the face before. We're going to go blindfolded. It's upside down. There's going to be music playing. There's lights and, you know, we're going to flip and then we're going to stop midway and do it backwards. And it's like, oh, too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love the whole experience. I mean, part of it is the nostalgia of like going places and the simpleness of it with your family, of having that like growing up, like family time where it was just my mom, dad, my sister, and me. Just, you know, the four of us were doing these fun things. We're eating stuff that we're not normally allowed to eat or do. And it's just like this fully immersive day of just like being in a special place where, you know, the world is your oyster. The world is your roller coaster. The world is all about fun, all about excitement, all about doing these things together. as a family.
Yeah, I love all of it, and yeah, it is like something. There's something nostalgic about it. I know the end of every baseball season as a kid, we would get a day at a local park, Clementon Park,
Clementon Park and
and
Splash World,
and Splash World.
double
Yes,
fun.
and so like there's that, and like you're saying, yeah, there are different rules at an amusement park than there are in real life. Like your parents let you do things that you couldn't get away with. Not to mention that not many places have roller coasters or rides. So there's that going for it too. But yeah, I Clementon Park, not a sponsor. That actually is where I was forced into my love of rides. They
Did you go on
had
the Jackrabbit?
yeah, the Jackrabbit. That was my first roller coaster. The little
Did you know
white.
it killed somebody?
I do feel like that was the story that I knew
It
in my head.
jumped off the tracks at the end. It was the longest continually operating roller coaster, wooden roller coaster, coming to Park, New Jersey, and it jumped off the rails and it kind of like just kept going. I think it ran over somebody,
Not great.
which is
I mean,
sad. Yeah, so and I think
it
they shut it down. They moved it somewhere else.
it had a good run. So good job, Jackrabbit, I guess. But yeah, before it had killed anyone, I was afraid it was going to kill me. It was I believe the first roller coaster of any kind that I went on, and I remember being in line with my dad, and then we got to like the point to sit down in the car, and I'm like, I'm not doing this, and he's like, yeah, you are. And I started crying, and he pulled me off the rail, sat me next to him, and we went on it. I think it was a separate year where they had, I think it was called the Black Viper in Splash World. It was like the black encased
Yep.
water slide. And same thing. But you like climb the stairs in this line, you know? So we're like climbing the stairs and there's a long line. So we're waiting on the stairs, we climb higher, you wait. Then you get to the top and I like see how high up we are. And I'm like, nope, not gonna do it. And I'm again hugging the rail. And my dad's like, there's two ways down and one is faster than the other, and that's what we're doing.
And
And
more fun.
I don't even think I was on my tube. Like I think he just like pushed me down. He just pushed me down the slide, and I made it out alive, and I love it now. So, you know, sometimes you got to know your kids, and I guess my dad knew that I could handle it. So here we are.
A quick correction. On August 5th, 1998, a train derailed from the left hill and hit the park's management office, injuring 3 people in the front car.
Okay.
Okay.
Look at this. You're out here.
You know.
We're gonna have a defamation lawsuit from the Jackrabbit roller coaster.
Yeah. It was shut down in 2002. 81 years. It was open to the
81
public.
years. It's a
Philadelphia
good life.
roller coaster.
Lived a happy life, and now it's a roller coaster in a farm upstate.
What? Sure? So we hit it on there's different rules, there's different food rules. So what is a favorite kind of park treat, park food that you would eat or would like to eat?
Funnel cake is it for
Okay.
me? Even more than the boardwalk, I associate funnel cake with like an amusement park. Like, get me some funnel cake. So that's probably the go-to. That's probably the main. I think that's probably the only like staple that is like amusement park that I'm like.
Do you get anything on top of it, or just straight powdered sugar, regular
powdered sugar funnel cake?
Because now they got like crazy things.
There's options. What are some of the options? I don't think I knew this existed.
Well, this is now they'll put ice cream on it. They'll put chocolate drizzle, like strawberries. Anything that you could top stuff with. A friend from our youth group was famous. She made funnel cake ice cream sandwiches. Have you seen this?
I have not. Sounds delicious.
Kristen Moore, I think, was Mr. Moore mentioned before. He was one of our youth leaders, but she's a pastry chef. Yes. And she was at this like fancy thing, and she would make little funnel cakes and then basically make like a chipwich out of it. Like put ice cream in the middle of 2 little funnel cakes. And that was like a specialty dessert that it was like viral.
Nice. Look at us. Almost famous. Tangentially famous.
Yeah, like we got Emily Kelly painting Taylor Swift murals on South Street in Philadelphia.
How many murals did she paint before she was on the Gospel Critic too?
The TGAT bump is real.
It's real.
So if you want to reach out to us and get on a future episode, who knows how far you can fly, you
Yeah,
know.
Alan Noble was on our podcast and then had his own 4 podcast episode run with IVP. He never did that before he was on with us. So I'm just saying,
Just saying.
just saying.
So, Dave,
Yes.
people are asking.
What are they asking now? What do they want to know?
They want to know, they're in the DMs, they're stopping me in the middle of sermons Sunday
Mm-hmm.
morning and they're saying, "Hey, what's the gospel according to amusement parks?"
Mm-hmm. What is the gospel according to amusement parks? I see now that I hear the question. I understand why they're asking it. I mean,
They
that it
want to
wasn't.
infuse their life in the same way that we as a podcast have talked about this intersection of pop culture and the Christian faith. As they're going about their Christian faith, they're wondering how to combine things they love in their faith. And one of those things is amusement parks.
Yeah. Well, I think that the gospel according to amusement parks is joy. It's joy. Joy is one of the fruit of the spirit, and joy is something that should define our lives as Christians. And I mean, the happiest place on earth is an amusement park. It's Walt Disney World, and it brings joy to people's lives. And I feel that same sense of joy at Clementon Park and Splash World, Six Flags Great Adventure, Knoebels, Dorney Park, all not sponsors. So there's
Yet.
opportunity out there yet. But I feel a sense of joy. There's freedom within the limits of this amusement park that you get to enjoy. It feels like there are no limits. There are no boundaries, that you never know what you're going to get or expect. There's a sense of wonder and awe at these rides, and a thrill of that fear and excitement that you're talking about. I think of the line from Chronicles of Narnia with Aslan. Who said anything about safe? He's not safe,
Mm.
but he's good. And it's like amusement parks, like the Jackrabbit, who
Not
said
really
anything about
not.
safe? No, but like there's a sense of excitement and like fear that goes into it, but ultimately they're good, they're safe, and they're
Mhm.
exciting to go through. It's a great adventure, like Six Flags says, but also like Stephen Curtis Chapman says, it's a great adventure. So I think that sense of like joy and just being able to explore, and the sense of freedom that you get, and kind of, I don't, like childlike wonder that it instills in all of us. I think that's the gospel according to amusement parks.
Good stuff. I think the roller coaster in and of itself and other rides, you know, is used as a metaphor, but this life is a roller coaster. There's ups and downs. That, like you said, the great adventure, that there's a journey that we are on, in the same way that, rides, we experience journeys on rides, that there's the fear, there's the excitement, that there's hope as you're
Mm.
going chick 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 chick. There's this anticipation, and so we experience in different rides. Sometimes you're in disappointment that it wasn't as fun, or there's the queue in and of itself is like we're waiting for something to happen. There's a patience element. So I just think heightened emotions that
Yeah, yeah,
we probably experience day to day. We experience joy, as you said, we experience fear, but this kind of is heightened in this one aspect of a
right.
ride, that the life we're on, the journey we're on with Christ, we have the hope, we have experiences of, when's this going to happen? We have the joined together community aspects of doing these rides together. One of my favorite parts of going with people on rides is spending time together. You're in the line, you're talking about the thing that you did in the past, kind of like a mini small group, where
Right.
in church we have small groups where we're talking about our life. Oh, this is what happened this week. This is something that you can pray for. We have that, different experience on trips of like, oh, what did you like about that? Oh, can you believe when this happened? Oh, this was so much fun. Oh, I really like this ride. And just that communal aspect of doing life together on one day in one special place, but that we're called to do, and kind of debrief and have time. So I just think the range of emotions is something that as Christians that we are called to speak together with other people about those things and see how it relates to our
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, I think that you mentioned the analogy of a roller coaster. So, like, not breaking any new ground by being like the ups and downs in life, blah blah blah. But I do think even just that, like, going into something that is terrifying. Like, I remember the first time I went on King Ka, and just you're staring up at this huge thing, and then they build up the anticipation by like slowly pulling you out. But like on a normal roller coaster where they like bring you up the incline slowly, like you can't do that at King Ka because the whole roller coaster is the elevation. So they just like sit you out before they shoot you off, and you don't know how long you're going to have to be there. And so it just like builds up, like, did I do something I shouldn't have done? Did I get myself into something that I didn't want to
Or is
do?
the ride broken? Like, is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
go?
yeah. Or when we were at Disney World most recently, we went on the new Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster with Riley
Chris
and
Pratt.
with Chris Pratt. Yes, he was sitting next to me. Riley was next to Leah, I think is how it went. And she was sitting. Riley was sitting next to Leah, and Riley had that face. Like it got whiter and whiter as the ride went on, and like Leah's like trying to like just breathe, breathe, like it's okay. But then as soon as we got to the end and we like slowed down, and Leah was like, wasn't that so much fun? And Riley's like, is it over? And Leah's like, yeah. And she goes, like, she just, the life comes back to her face. And she's like, that
Right.
was so much fun. And like, how many times do we go through things in life where we're like, why me? Why do I
Mhm.
have to do this? Is this ever going to end? And then we get to the end and we're like, that was kind of awesome. Like something really cool came out of that experience that was terrifying and frightening. And I wish I could have gotten out of. Now I can see that
Right.
was worth it. And maybe I'd even do it again.
Mhm.
And so I think, yeah, we get to experience that at very low stakes at an amusement park, but it fits what happens in our lives where, you know, we go through all sorts of emotions, but at the end, we recognize that we're okay, that there were parts of that that were enjoyable, and maybe I'll do it again, or maybe I've learned I don't ever want to do that again. And now I
Right.
know that.
Mhm. And there's this sense that I've always thought about it as like when people ask, "Are you scared of heights?" Like sometimes I am, and
Right.
some like if they're and I might have used this in a sermon before, but if there's a restraint on me, like you're talking about on a roller coaster or those things that shoot you straight up in
Yep.
the air, when there's like something that's holding on to me, like I'm fine. I'll put my hands up, like we could be 300 feet in the air or whatever it is, no problem. I could go to my 10-foot roof or on
Right.
top of a ladder where it's like I'm a lot less secure. The height is a lot
Right.
less, but I could be, clutching to the ladder or to the side of the roof, worried that I'm going to fall down. And that I think can be an illustration of we're going through life and there's going to be things that are hard, but where are we grounded? Do we feel that our life is in God's hands, that no matter what happens, that we're going to be safe, that we're going to be protected, that, this side of eternity or the other, that He has us with us. But for some other people, there's a real fear in going on a little roller coaster, even with that
Right.
strains or whatever of where is the fear coming from in our lives.
No, that's good. Yeah. Like that's good. That is all that I have to say. This is good. I lost my thought. It's gone.
Do you have anything else before? I just have the games. That's all I have left, which I mean will be 20 minutes or more.
Yeah. No, that's good. We can go to the games.
Dave, you ready to play a game?
Is this like a carnival game? Do I have to shoot a basketball through an oblong hoop?
Yes, it's $3 for two balls or $5 for.
Let me go ask my mom.
No, this game is called Real or Fake, and this is Bible Amusement Park Ride Edition.
Okay. Okay.
So there's been different iterations over around the world of people trying to make Christian Bible Jesus amusement parks happen to varying degrees of success. And so with these themed amusement parks comes themed rides, themed experiences. And so I'm going to give you the description of something And I want you to tell me whether you think this is real or fake.
Okay, I'm ready. I might have some insider knowledge
Oh, no.
because on my senior trip, we went to Bible Land. I forget what it's called. It's in Florida, but there's a Bible themed park
The
there.
Holy Land
So
Experience?
the Holy Land Experience. That's what it might be called. Yeah, yeah.
That's such a Christian school thing to do.
It really is. We did all the things in Florida except for Disney.
So you did Universal.
We did Universal. We went to some water park called Wet and Wild, where
But not Disney World. We'll get
but not
wet and
Disney.
wild.
We'll get Wet and Wild, and yeah, just a bunch of random men and women walking around in small bathing suits. But can't do Disney.
Can't do
that.
Disney because they support things we don't agree with.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, so maybe you've been on some of these.
Maybe.
Oh, exciting. Did you go to Alligator World? You said you did everything in Florida.
Literally, we did everything. Name something in Florida. We did it.
All right. So here we go. This one's called Soarin' Over the Promised Land. This is a ride where there's a big screen, you're buckled in, and you get to see where God called his people, as if you were the spies into the Promised Land, basically flying. I don't know what they're called, motion seats that you're looking
a simulator
at a screen. Simulator screen. Soaring over the Promised Land. Dave, is this real or not real?
I've been on Soarin' in Disney, and it feels like something that would be pretty easy to like make Christian.
Just have the same exact thing and just say, this is God's creation at the beginning.
I'm going to say yes, this is real.
Oh, this is something I made up.
Man. Well, Dan,
it's actually something I found in an article that was like proposing rides.
Yes. Well, it's a good proposal. I like it.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, is this real or fake, Dave? An animatronic 40-foot tall Jesus who resurrects from the side of a mountain every hour. So, you have theme parks where there's fireworks, there's fountains that shoot off at certain times. I think at Universal Diagon Alley, there's like a dragon that has fire every hour. But here we're going to have a 40-foot tall animatronic Jesus who resurrects from the side of the mountain every hour.
Okay, I'm going with the same answer as last time for the exact opposite reason. This is such a bad idea that it sounds like something some Christian thought was a good idea. I'm going to say it's real.
It is real. And Tierra Santa, which means Holy Land in Portuguese, I guess. Or no, in Spanish, because it's in Buenos Aires. There is a Holy Land, and then there's a 40-foot tall Jesus who comes up every hour. All right. Next one. Get seated in the Truth Traveler time machine and journey back to the time of Noah in the immersive virtual reality experience, A Flood of Reality. You witness the building of Noah's Ark, experience the flood, go inside the ark with the animals, and more.
That's a good copy for that ride.
Is A Flood of Reality real or fake?
Kudos to whoever wrote that, whether that be the promoter of the ride or you, because it has convinced me that it is real.
It is real. You can go to the Ark Encounter.
It is real.
And get in the Truth Traveler time machine.
Have you done the Ark experience?
We have not. Our church went one time, but it was like a summer when I had like a mission trip and 2 camps, and so I was originally supposed to go, but I did not.
Just was curious. I felt like you had been. Maybe I knew that your church went or something, but I was going to ask your opinions about it, but you have none because you weren't there. I mean, you might have opinions about it. I was going to ask about your experience there.
No, I have not experienced it. Seen different videos. People that I know that have gone have enjoyed it. The Creation Museum and Ark Encounter. So
I just know that Ken Ham likes to write really long tweets.
So he's happy that there's longer he can.
Yes, it's true. And whenever I see them, I respond with this meme that says, "I'm really happy for you," or sorry, or sad that happened to you. But I'm not reading all that.
Right, I'm not reading all that. All right, next one. This one is called The Seventh Day. Drift away on an inner tube as you float down the Tigris and Euphrates, a scenic lazy river that follows all the way around the Eden Water Park as you take in all the wonders from the first 6 days of creation.
Okay. I like this. If this isn't real, someone is missing out on a really easy, like, this seems like it's a lazy river, but it seems like the lazy pitch too. Like the guy who shows up, he works for the Christian amusement park
He's
and
like,
realizes it was pitch day.
so
And he's like,
Dave, you got that new water ride for us, right?
oh yeah, that was today. I knew that was today. Yeah, what if? But I'm gonna say game theory reasons. I'm gonna say it's fake.
It is fake. I made this up.
Woo.
Do you like the lazy river?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the kids who turn it into the active river?
I used to be one of those kids,
I probably was too.
but now I'm like, come down.
Yeah.
It's like, where are we going? Right?
Big old man energy in the lazy river for me these days. Like, get off my lawn, kid.
It's hard because then it's not for as parents of little kids. It's not a lazy river because
Right.
it's like, oh shoot, that tube is going too far ahead. Where is this kid? Where is that kid? And so it's just like anxiety river.
Yeah, I agree. They should have like a splash pad right next somewhere in the like beside the lazy river entrance or exit where like your kids go and they're like locked in for a certain amount of time so that you know they're safe, and then parents can go on the lazy river
Right.
and just go around.
Just like little lockers that you put your kid into.
Yeah, basically, yes.
All right, next one. Escape from Sodom.
Oh,
A
I don't like this.
trackless vehicle ride that takes you through the city of Sodom just before God's wrath begins to pour out. You'll see some pretty disgusting things. Riders must be over the age of 21. But then your vehicle will dodge fire and brimstone and collapsing buildings as you try to leave town. Don't look back once you make it out, or you won't enjoy the ending.
Oh man, this is so dark. This is so dark. I hate everything about this. I hate that you're making me guess. I'm gonna go with fake. This is an optimistic fake guess.
I do not know if they made this, but
Okay.
this was going to be made at the Holy Land Experience in Orlando, Florida.
Oh my goodness.
So I don't know if they went through and made it because it closed down, a few years ago or whatever. But this was in a press release of 3 new rides that were going to be coming to the Holy Land Experience.
That I hate everything about that.
It's a Christian theme park, but you'll see some pretty disgusting things.
Right.
Is in the copy they're releasing, and you have to be 21 to ride because of the disgusting. It's like, how vivid are they getting into the acts of Sodom and Gomorrah here?
Right. And like, is it, I don't know. Are you showing like me video of this? Is it animatronics? Are these real people? Like what? Like
actors?
Yeah, I don't like it.
They get all the people that were fired from Disney World for being too inappropriate, and they hire them for the Escape Sodom ride.
Yes.
All right. Last one, at the Window of the World theme park in China, they have a 4D death simulator. You're put in a coffin and you get pushed into a furnace by an attendant. The ride is safe technically, but sure is guaranteed to leave you spooked for a very long time.
Yeah, that's real. And terrifying.
It knocks out a few greatest fears: death, cramped spaces, and gets them out of the way. You'll feel the heat of the ride as it gets up to a toasty 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The death simulator.
No. What are we doing, people?
That is real.
Somehow the Escape from Sodom just became a better idea.
So are you going on the death simulator?
No, I would not do that.
You don't want to know what it's going to feel like to die?
Nope. The sweet
and apparently go to hell because it gets up to 104 degrees as you're pushed into the furnace. It's reminiscent of the Halloween. We got into those
the scare houses,
the Christian scare houses, where it's like, this is what hell's gonna be like.
The last two both were like that. I'm like, maybe like, did a church like actually make one of these rides? But then like when you were like, it's a trackless, I'm like, no, they don't have the technology for that. But I'm like, I could see a church doing like the Escape of Sodom for their like Halloween scare house or something like that.
Right. And
so,
then
both
at the end of the ride, they have people there that will pray for you.
Yeah.
for your salvation.
Of course, of course.
So that was it. Our real or fake Bible. Does it make you want to go to? Well, let's get it. You have gone to one of these. So
Right.
what was your Holy Land experience like?
I don't remember there being any rides at all there, actually. They have like, they boasted about having the largest to scale model of the Holy Land, which was just like like Boy Scouts, or like Mo and his games,
Like
our
little
friend Mo
games,
and his
right?
little games with like, you like paint the figures and you like put them on. It was like that.
Largest to scale, but it still was only 20 feet wide.
Yeah. I mean, it took up like a large show type space to be able to see it. But I remember that they do like Jesus skits. They probably did like a passion skit at some point, but we weren't there for that. But like this actor who plays Jesus comes out and like does some plays the greatest hits, And then they sell a bunch of merch because it might be the Holy Land experience, but still capitalism, baby. So
Well, if you go to the Holy Land, a lot of merch there too.
it's true. I mean, there's a merch store at the World Trade Center. So, like, we'll sell whatever we can.
Do you remember was there any food options like manna flavored ice cream?
that I don't remember manna flavored ice cream or any food options at all. But I do like, would they go kosher, or like Jesus ate kosher, I'd imagine. But now that we're Christian, post Jesus, he's like, it's all clean, baby. Eat it up.
Hebrew
So I wonder.
National hot dogs.
There you go.
All right. You ready for another game?
Let's do it. One more
I think you're
game.
going to participate in this, so
One
we got
more
something for you.
time.
So this game is called Have You Tried This Bible Ride?
I like it.
So much like these ones we're picking whether they're real or fake, we're in the driver's seat, the proverbial front row of the roller coaster here, where I have some names or some events from the Bible that you are then going to have to design a ride around. And
Okay.
I believe you have some for me as well.
Well, yep.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. You're making me worried there. All right. You want to go first? You want me to?
You go first.
All right. So this first one, the name is the Jericho Dash.
The Jericho Dash. All right. I like it. So the walls of Jericho, I'm assuming what you had in mind, right? They're like crumbling down or something.
You're the ride designer here.
I am the ride designer.
I just come up with the name.
I like it. It's a good name. So it feels like it has to go fast. So here's what I think. We're going to do, I don't know if you're familiar with, I think it's like Toy Story Mania in Disney, but you like are in Andy's Playhouse and you have like a thing that you like pull and it shoots little discs and you have to like hit the toy targets and points and stuff like that. So you're going to like kind of go around side a house, but it's going to look like you're going around a city wall, and you have to shoot these little things, but you're aiming at musical instruments that are trombones, and you go around 7 times, and at the end the walls fall down, but the highest score wins the Joshua Award.
And then you kill a bunch of people once the walls fall down.
Yes, the people who work at the ride scream very loudly and scary like.
Okay, I would go on that. I was thinking more of just kind of like a spin. Like, they're like rides that shoot you up in the air, but then it like brings you up, then you spin around 7 times really fast, and then there's this ear blistering horn, and then it's like, and then you drop 100 feet. But yours is probably more.
Yours would be easier to make, I'd imagine. But
we'll see.
We'll see.
Once we open the gospel according to the ride, the park. We just need $500 million investment. So if anybody out there is listening.
All right. Your first ride is called, and fit because of who you are, it's called Daniel's Den.
Okay.
So step on into Daniel's Den where you will.
Okay, so this is a ride.
It's a ride. It's an attraction You're the ride designer, Dan. You tell me.
Well, am I the attraction? Am I the ride designer?
I just come up with the name.
Is this a meal opportunity?
It is not a food court. You can't go food court.
It's like the den. Like you go in there and you sit and you eat like, raw meat. And there's little bears that come and walk around. You take your pictures with.
We're not doing that. Not doing that.
All right. So this is going to be a dark ride indoor.
Okay.
Okay, so it starts off you're inside a roller coaster type track, and you go in, and then as you're going forward, it's pitch black, and you hear the voice of Nebuchadnezzar saying something like this, and then it's as if you throw. So it's dark. It starts off with a deep dip, boom. So then you're in, and then it's kind of space world, what
Mountain.
space mountain esque. You're going around, but in the beginning there's bears that seem as though they're ferocious, but they're
We do
like
know that there were lions in Daniel's
oh,
story.
I'm sorry. Oh, I guess because den, I was thinking, okay, so
Yeah,
lions. All right, we're in the lions den. We fall down in the lions den.
right.
They're like swiping at us to begin with, but then we get past them, and then there's this kind of realization that the beginning of it's kind of scary, but then it's almost a la Splash Mountain. That once you get through the like scary turns and drops, then you're in there and it's like animatronic lions that are singing with you and become your friend at the end of it.
I like it. All right, I'm on.
So yeah, maybe
I had
mountainish.
visions of the Jurassic Park ride at Universal,
Mm,
where
I,
and then
I
at the
lost my
end,
favorite hat on that ride.
oh, sad days. At like the last drop, where like the T-Rex comes out, like there could be like a giant lion or something, and then an angel steps in
Oh
and pets it,
yeah,
and then it becomes real calm.
yeah, it touches it,
Turn,
and then it's
t-
the singing
it
lion.
turns into a little kitten, turns into a bear.
I know the Bible stories. All right, my next one for you. Step right this way. There's only a 15-minute line. Wait for the next ride, The Rapture.
The Rapture. Okay. Oh, I like this one. So this is kind of like carnival attraction slash ride. Okay.
Okay.
So you've been inside like an enclosed gravitron
Mm-hmm.
before. Okay. So you kind of go into one of those. So everybody has like their own space that your back has to be like up against the wall. But you also have like a little control pad in front of you, and you're playing games. There's like little mini games within this ride. So like trivia questions or like kind of like digital whack-a-mole or something, right? And the based on your performance,
Oh no.
you are raptured, which is not necessarily biblical, but that's fine. So, but you actually get sucked up. Like it elevates you out of the ride and you get to leave. And then if you do bad, you get dropped down out of the ride.
And then Kirk Cameron's down there.
And Kirk Cameron is
And
down there.
he helps give you the answers for the next time you ride.
Yes. And a t-shirt that says Kirk Cameron saved my life.
Shout out Sunday School. Okay.
All
I'd
right.
go on that. I'd go on
Sweet.
that.
Yeah.
I like trivia. So.
All right. This ride is called Disciples at Sea.
Disciples at Sea. All right. So this is a water ride. The I don't know what they're called. The circular rides where everyone's kind of in there and you go under waterfalls and stuff like that.
Like Grand Rapids.
Popeye.
That's what's
Yeah.
in my head is like
Yeah. Which are really dangerous rides. They've shut down a lot of them because they have
noted.
flipping hazards.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you're careful, folks. So one of those things where it's like an 8-seat. Well, let's make it a 13-seater.
There you go.
Okay. So 13-seater, but in the 13th seat is a sleeping Jesus animatronic. Okay.
I like it. Yep.
So as you're going, it's very rough in the beginning, water splashing all over the place. You're scared for your life, and then you have to convince the animatronic Jesus to wake up.
I like it. I like you could mix it into a couple different like versions of the ride, but like the Grand Rapids type ride, a lazy river so that it can be continuous, but also escape room, right? So you're trying to like there's a way to wake Jesus up, and you have to figure out what that is.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, make sure you guys come out to our theme park called Blasphemy, opening fall of 2026.
Yes. That was all of mine. I didn't have any more, so I just had two.
I got lots more.
Oh, look
all right, I'll just do one more.
Okay.
Last one is called Wrong Way, Jonah.
Wrong Way, Jonah. Well, we already used the escape room idea. I should have. No, we didn't. I get to edit these.
Wrong Way, Jonah. Step right up.
I think Wrong Way, Jonah is an escape room. And Jonah is trying to escape, but you don't play as Jonah. you actually play at the fishermen who are on his boat, and the to escape the room, you have to
Throw
throw
him over.
Jonah overboard. But there are like little mini games and puzzles that you have to figure out before Jonah will admit that the storm is because of him.
Okay, I like it. I was
And I
thinking
think we're
maybe
gonna add a water element to it too. Like you're in a room and it like you will not drown. Okay, that is not the but the room does
make
like
sure that's big on the front of the ride.
it
It
does
says you
spray,
will not drown.
it sprays water in you, and maybe the room does like, fill up with water a little bit just to make you nervous.
I was thinking of like bumper boats, like bumper cars,
Mm-hmm.
where there's like on the one side is was Tarshish, and like that like looks like it's the much more fun part of it. And so you're trying to steer there, but the boat just keeps auto correcting and turning you back to Nineveh. And so it's like you're trying to go one way, but it's like you're
Yeah, yeah.
never gonna get there.
I like it. Here, why don't you just rapid fire the names of these rides, and then our listeners can tell us what they are.
I just I had the plagues.
Yep.
I thought that
Okay.
could be like, it's a small world, but you just go through
It's a small pock world.
those different ones. Oh, had the that's all I had written down. I was gonna try to think of one off the top of my head, but I don't got it. You got anything else? Anything you missed that you'd want to share?
What is your favorite amusement park? Give me your top 3 that you've been to.
My favorite amusement park experiences have been we used to do a Dorney Park, which is in
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania, but we would go on Mondays with the youth group. And so there would be very little people there in the summer on a Monday. And so we would basically walk up and go on whatever ride we wanted to, almost to the point where it was like, okay, we did each ride 4 times and it's like 6 o'clock. Can we just go home at this point? So I like that, maybe not necessarily that theme park, but that experience
Yeah.
of that. I went with Brian Young in middle school to Cedar Point,
Mm-hmm.
Ohio, where it has the most roller coasters. This is when they opened the Millennium Force, which was the tallest, fastest, steepest, and we waited for 3 hours
Wow.
in
Wow.
line to go on this roller coaster.
Was it worth it?
I mean, I could say I went on the tallest, fast. I mean, no, the whatever 90 seconds of the ride
Right.
was not worth
Yeah.
waiting 3 hours in line. But as I've gotten older, I've enjoyed more of the theme parts of theme rides.
Mm.
Where younger and kind of where my daughters are right now, they're like, I don't want to go to the shows. Like, I don't want to go on those things. I want the thrills. I want the drops. I
Mm.
want the spins. I want speed. I want velocity, G force. That's what I want. I don't need the little stories while I'm waiting in line. I don't need the little, animatronics. Just give me the thrill. And so I've moved kind of on from that, the Six Flagness, to enjoying the Disney World, Universal thematic parts
Yeah.
of being immersed in a story more than just the
Yep.
drops.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a sucker for Disney. My wife has converted me. She grew up in a Disney family, and we are now a Disney family as well. So they do it well, and it is expensive. Like there's no getting around that fact, but they do a really good job of while you're there making you feel like you're not spending money, which is a lie. It is not what's
All I got
happening.
to do
But
is tap this little bracelet on there. I get
yeah,
whatever I want.
yeah. But they do a really good job. I do think Six Flags Great Adventure, from what I understand, the lines have gotten out of control. They need to get that in order. But so many great roller coasters in a like small park. The King Ka, I guess, is it still the tallest or like biggest drop or whatever? I know it was for a while. That's like maybe the 4th best roller coaster there. Like they have a
Ooh,
lot
hot
of good
take.
rides. Nitro is better. El Toro. Give me a good wooden roller coaster over
Hard
metal.
pass.
Mm.
Hard pass. I
The
don't need to,
I that That's
right? You got to go to
exactly
the
what I need.
chiropractor after you're on it. No,
No, that
thank you.
is the adjustment. But yeah, and then Hershey is good.
Sweetest
All of
place on earth.
all of ours are very centralized to the Northeast, as you might know. I
But
did
come
go
and visit.
to I did Universal California and Disneyland when I was in first grade. So
In first grade. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you did the Holy Land experience,
When I was a senior. Yep.
which you can't do anymore because it's closed.
R.I.P. You can go to the actual Holy Land if you want.
So that's all we have for here. We've got a lot of feedback from our beaches episode.
We did. I guess this is probably the good time to do the corrections and reproofs. We did get a lot of feedback from that episode. We won't say how many listeners all of this feedback came from. We won't say that it was one person. We won't say
that Dave's been sleeping on the couch ever since that episode dropped.
It's true. That's why I said Disney was my favorite park. I'm like
trying to get back in her graces.
But yeah, so here were a couple of things. The obvious one is that I didn't know the lyrics to a song that
you drafted.
That I drafted. That was immediately clear. I don't know that we need to correct that. We all saw that it was a mistake as it happened. But I'm trying to think now some of the things that she told me were wrong. One, so Vamos a la was not a song that I sang in Spanish class. That was a song that Leah sang in Spanish class. And I know that song because of her. She also corrected how many people were invited to our wedding, but I knew that and was using round numbers. It was like 62 and I said 70, you know.
But she didn't correct your reason for inviting people to Florida.
She did not. She did not. That was so
she stands
actually
by
correct. She stands by
less
that.
People to come to your wedding. Got it.
And other than that, I think there was just a lot of corrections and reproving vibes that I got from her. Not too many more specifics.
Did she take kindly to you calling her a shoebie?
I think she's accepted it. She knows, like, we live 3 miles from the house I grew up in. And so if I was a shoebie when we were dating, she's a shoebie now. Like, there's no getting around it.
Is it 3 miles?
It's east. So we're closer. We are
Okay.
closer. But
well, thank you for joining us out there, all the T-gatters out there, for joining us for the Gospel According To. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms that have existed or have ever existed. If you have any reproofs, if you have any things that Dave has said wrong, make sure you send them to us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Make sure you can watch, subscribe on YouTube, and visit our park on Roller Coaster Tycoon at TGAT Podcast.
Thank you for loved Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah?
Yes.
I played there was a one that was just called Theme Park that was like very early, like before Roller Coaster Tycoon. That was more my speed. Played a lot of that. Thank you for sharing the Gospel According To with your family, with your friends, the chatty guy that stood next to you for 2 hours in line. You know, as you're there just chatting it up, say, hey, I got this podcast I listened to. You should check it out.
Yeah, do it. If you've got one of our stickers or want one of our stickers, hit us up at tgatpod@gmail.com or in any of those socials. We'll send you a Gospel According To sticker, and then you can bring it to the amusement park, take a picture of it when you're on the ride, tag us.
Stick it on the queue line.
Yeah, stick it in the queue line, and we can't get in trouble for it. So make sure you grab one of those stickers. You can also send your mailbag questions to the socials or to that email. Again, tgatpod@gmail.com. And we'll be happy to answer that, or I'll face the music for anything that I've said or done wrong. You can't make me sleep on the couch, though, so take that. Make sure you're doing your part in helping us spread the gospel according to podcast. One really easy, free way to do that nobody will threaten to make you sleep on the couch or tell you that you have ruined their property for doing, is leaving a 5-star rating and review.
We're begging you
listen.
Just do it. Please. Come on. What are you waiting for? This is like
you want to see a grown man cry? Is that what you want?
What episode is this, Dave? Isn't we're in their 40s or something here?
We're pushing 50. Yeah, we're like late 40s.
Come on. Just go and do it.
Go and do it. Go and do it. The more exclamation points, the better. Whoever leaves the most exclamation points in the next 2 weeks will get a free prize.
Free fast pass to go on Escape from Sodom.
According To. But this was your favorite Hump Day podcast. Be sure to tune in next week, and we'll bring in another one. This was the Gospel According To Amusement Parks. Step right up.